Ash Wednesday, that if when you're leaving the church, if you are so proud of your ashes that you want everybody to see that you've been to church, and you really think that's a wonderful thing, and that you ought to be proud of that, wash them off. And if you really, on the other hand, are kind of ashamed of the fact that you have ashes on your forehead, and you don't want anybody to really see them, leave them on. That's the whole point. The idea that Jesus is talking about in the sermon, Matthew is talking about in the sermon, and that the church is trying to talk about to us, is humility. But that's the tone in which we accept the love and the beauty and the grace of God. That he loves us, and that he loves us in secret, and we need to also confess to him in secret. All of us have done things that are wrong. We all know that. We've done terrible things sometimes. And we need sometimes to apologize for that. And it isn't easy. I know how apologies are. Sometimes you don't want to do it, and you kind of make up things and all of that kind of stuff, and you try to stay away from it for as long as you can. But we need to do it. And that's one of the things that is this service is all about. We're starting into Lent, and Lent is a powerful time of preparation for the resurrection of Jesus Christ. We go through an awful lot in Lent. There's fasting, there is confession, there is a sense that we need to get right with our God. And all through Lent, you will hear stories from the Gospels about all of this, and how repenting and renewal is the whole idea. We need to be able to do that. We will have in this service a time of confession. It's a long litany. We will do that. We will go through it. Every Sunday before the Eucharist, we have confession. And right before we have confession, I have a period of silence. And the period of silence is so that you can think of the things that you are done, the things that you need to confess, so that you can get right with God. That's the whole idea. And that's what we're going to do tonight. I'm going to have a period of silence, and we're going to confess. I'm going to put ashes on your forehead, first of all, so that you can have a sense of the presence of God in your life and in your heart. And then we will have a long litany, and we will have also Psalm 51. Now, I love Psalm 51. You don't know anything about it, but I do. Psalm 51 was written by King David, and it came in his life at a very specific time. He had gone up on the roof, and he had seen Bathsheba bathing in the neighboring roof. And he invited her over, and he seduced her. And she had a husband by the name of Uriah, who was a Hittite, and he was in David's army. And the problem is that Bathsheba got pregnant. And so David thought, oh, I better get Uriah to get back here and sleep with her so that we can straighten us all out. Well, Uriah refused to do that. And so David called Joab, who is his commander, and he sent Uriah into the thick of the fighting with the Philistines, and Uriah was killed. So this horrible thing, this drama that went on, is right there. So Nathan the prophet comes to David, and he tells him a story about a man who had a little ewe lamb who he loved and he took care of, and he just he carried it everywhere that he went. And the master of his property had a visitor, and he took his little ewe lamb and he killed it, and he served it to the man for supper. And David said, "Why, that's a terrible thing. That man should die." And Nathan pointed at him and he said, "You are the man." And what he was referring to was the whole drama with Bathsheba and with Uriah the Hittite. And so David, very chastened, very saddened by what he had done, went back to his room, and he sat down and he wrote what we now have as Psalm 51. And we will recite that tonight as we begin our Lent. Now, it's a beautiful thing. I invite you to confess, to be forgiven, to get ready for your Lenten journey that leads us by the power of God to the resurrection of Jesus Christ. God bless us as we get into this season, and God bless all of you. Dear people of God, the first Christians observed with great devotion the days of our Lord's passion and resurrection. And it became the custom of the church to prepare for them by a season of penitence and fasting. The season of Lent provided a time in which converts to the faith were prepared for holy baptism. It was also a time when those who, because of notorious sins, had been separated from the body of the faithful, were reconciled by penitence and forgiveness, and restored to the fellowship of the church. Thereby the whole congregation was put in line with the message of pardon and absolution set forth in the gospel of our Savior, and the need which all Christians continually have to renew their repentance and faith. I invite you, therefore, in the name of the church, to the observance of a holy Lent, by self-examination and repentance, by prayer, fasting, and self-denial, and by reading and meditating on God's holy word, and to make a right beginning of repentance, and as a mark of our mortal nature, let us now kneel